Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and happy Wednesday. Today I want to talk to you guys about how I stay organized, I stay on top of things, and I plan my day because I am an extremely busy person. I work from home, I have children, I have puppies, I have a husband, and I'm currently trying to launch my own company. So that being said, stay tuned and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Planners and journals for me have always been probably one of my biggest obsessions, and I say that because every time I would go to the store I was always buying a new planner. And the reason I'm always buying them is because I could never find one that like 100% worked for me. And finally, one day I was like, why am I wasting so much money on all these planners when they're great, but only 80% of it works for me? I felt like it was lacking something, or to be honest, it had stuff in there that I was never gonna use. Or maybe sometimes they just didn't even have enough room in there. So today I'm gonna talk with you guys about the planner that I created, and this is actually the planner that I'm trying to get launched, but I'll get into more of that a little bit later. So essentially, I printed this out to see if it was gonna work for me. And I already took out all my personal pages because I had like a lot of personal information in there. So I have like a blank copy. But I did go in and I changed some of the graphics, some of the coloring, just to make it a little more cohesive. How it's set up, I am so freaking proud of this, guys. I've never done anything so cool in my entire life. So the very first page is an annual expenses sheet. So you have your year and then you have each month. So every month you put in what your total income was and what your total expenses was, and then your difference. And then at the end of the year, you total it up and you see where did you go wrong? Where could you have improved? What happened if you are in the red in the difference? Why? Is it because you're not making enough money? Do you need to get a different job? Is it because you're spending too much? So this gives you a really good rundown at the end of the year to figure out what improvements you can make. I put in here a monthly expense afterwards. So at the beginning of every month, you have your monthly expense sheet. You have your due date. You have the company in which you have to pay, the amount in which you have to pay them, and a little box to check if you've paid them or not. What I like to do is I like to write in different colored pen. So say I was late on a payment or I still have a balance with them, I will actually put the amount in red. That tells me that I need to, the next month, either pay off my balance or not be late. So that's super handy. If it's in the green, that means that everything is fine and dandy, no big deal, I was on time, I don't have a balance with them, etc. If it's in blue, then that means it's automatically come out of my account and I don't even have to worry about it. So that helps me when I'm looking to see how many reds do I have? How many greens do I have? How many blues do I have? Can I change the red into blue by calling and doing like an automatic payment schedule with them? So that's super handy. And on the other side, I have the monthly glance. So this kind of helps you see like, okay, so say you have something due like on the 15th. Well, if the 15th is on a Saturday, then you're gonna wanna pay it the day before to avoid it being late. So this just kind of helps you screenshot every month where you're at. Okay, so I designed this planner a very, very specific way. I wanted certain pages to be next to each other and not back and front. And here's why. So I have my weekly meal sheet, and this is how I plan out all of my meals. So instead of doing Monday beef stroganoff, Tuesday meatloaf, Wednesday enchiladas, or whatever, I actually just write out 7 meals. Because if I have Monday, beef stroganoff, and come Monday, we don't want beef stroganoff, I feel like it just creates chaos on my paper and it gives me anxiety, and that might just be a me thing, but that to me, I just couldn't do it. So instead, I just do the 7 meals. When we make one that week, I cross it off so that I know, okay, that one's done. Now we have all these other ones left to choose from. How I make my meal plan originally is I actually go into my kitchen, and here it says kitchen inventory, and I go through my cupboards and my freezer and my refrigerator, and I think, okay, what needs to go. For example, I have a lot of black beans and I have a good amount of tortillas. So I could put enchiladas, because I have an enchilada recipe that uses those things, and that will cut down my grocery bill as well. Also, if you're going through your refrigerator, you're getting rid of leftovers. So if I find that I have like a plethora of leftovers, I'll actually write leftovers on like one of the top ones. And then that first day we'll just have leftovers and we'll clean out the fridge so that we have more room for other groceries. So that's something to keep in mind. And then that helps keep your food from spoiling. And honestly, it's kind of nice to not have to cook every single night. So there's that. So now, after I've done that, and say I write enchiladas right here, I already know that I have, you know, the ingredients for it over here. But what I don't have, I go ahead to the other side and I input all the ingredients I need for that meal. So I have my produce section, my meat and seafood section, my fridge and freezer section, pantry, household items like bleach wipes, toilet paper, anything essentially that you need for your household to run smoothly. And then I have a miscellaneous, because sometimes I'll need to buy something from the store and I can't just get it at the grocery store and it doesn't really fit in these categories, so I would put it in miscellaneous. So after I write down like enchiladas, I don't need the ingredients I have over here, but I do need, you know, the chicken, the green sauce, whatever. Then that meal is done. I know I have everything for that meal. Then I continue on until all of my meals are completely planned out. All the ingredients that I need are on my shopping list. After that, then I sit down and I'm like, okay, well, what do my kids need for snacks? What does my husband need for lunch? And then I fill those in afterwards. Now, a helpful tip is sometimes it is really hard to plan out every single meal. A lot of times what I do is I ask my family, hey, is there anything that I haven't made in a while that sounds good to you? But honestly, sometimes it's really hard to come up with 7 meals, and we love to barbecue. It doesn't matter if there's like 10 feet of snow outside, we'll still barbecue. So a lot of times what I'll do is I will put like a question mark for one of the boxes, and that tells me that when I go to the store, I need to plan something there. And what I'll do is, to save money, I'll see what's on sale. So say I just can't come up with like 2 or 3 extra meals, I'll start comparing meat prices at the store. And I'll be like, okay, so this pork roast is on sale and that would be cheaper than buying, say, drumsticks or whatever the case may be. So sometimes even if I can't 100% meal plan before I even get to the store, I'm still very conscious about how I'm spending my money once I get there. The next page on my list is more for people who are content creators like myself, like bloggers, anybody that essentially is producing content as their job. Now, this is the content creator version of my planner, so this I obviously printed out for me. I do have a version where I don't have this page, but I'm gonna go through it anyways, because if you are another YouTuber or you're a blogger or you're even thinking about starting any one of those things, then this might be handy for you. So essentially I just have boxes so that I can write out ideas of what I want to do for a video. So for example, today I am doing my how I stay organized with my planner video. So I had written on there how I stay organized with my planner in the first box. Now I have columns after here that says recorded, edited, and uploaded. And once I've done any of those things, so after I record this, I'm going to check off record. Now, a lot of times I do record ahead of time. Honestly, the last couple weeks I've kind of been running a little behind and I've been having to record the day of, but normally I actually have 2 to 4 videos recorded ahead of schedule. So this tells me how many I have recorded, how many I still need to edit, and then which one do I want to upload depending on how my channel's doing, what my subscribers are requesting from me. So that's super handy to stay on track with my channel. And then the next page is my weekly at a glance, and this for me go hand in hand, because if I have a really busy week, that might dictate what I'm recording or what I'm editing, because I obviously don't want to do a video that's going, because some videos take me like 6 hours to edit, some only take me 2. So if I'm super busy this week, I don't want to pick a video to edit that's going to take me 6 hours, because I'm just going to feel very run down, very exhausted, and honestly very frustrated. So like I said, those go hand in hand. everything after that is the daily agenda. And this part is honestly my favorite part. And I do have 2 versions of this as well, and I'll get into that. So the very first thing is today I'm grateful for, and then your date. So then I have my to-do section, my priority section, and my events, appointments section. So what I do is sometimes at the end of the night for the next day or first thing in the morning, I will actually sit down with this sheet and think, okay, first off, what are my priorities for the very next day or today? Do I have a bill that is due? Like a phone call that I have to make? So yeah, so I have that. I put all my priorities down first. Absolute, hands down, the first thing I write in these 3 boxes. Then I go to errands and appointments. Like the other day, I had to go to the DMV, so I put DMV there. And these 2, getting these filled out first, helps me fill in the rest of this. Because if I have a lot of errands to run, or a lot of appointments, or a lot of things that are just like priority number 1, then I'm not gonna put a whole lot over here because I don't wanna feel overwhelmed. So I'm not gonna put clean the entire house and bullet point that out. Because honestly, like, time management, you guys. On the to-do section, I do have one that says daily schedule instead, and then it's actually hourly. And I do like that one for some days, and I don't for other days, because I'm not super strict with my schedule. I just do the best I can. Like today, I actually planned out my day by the hour. My kids at school decided to be 2 hours late today because of the cold weather. So it was just, the times were null and void anyway, so I'm still just going down my to-do list. So sometimes I don't really like to use the hourly. I feel like, because then it just makes me feel more behind because I didn't get it done, instead of just doing the order in which I need to get things done. So for example, say I have to clean the kitchen, okay? Rather than just put clean the kitchen, to me that feels really overwhelming. What I do is I'll actually put clean the kitchen. Okay, well, what part of the kitchen really needs to be cleaned? I actually clean my house by zones weekly. So we do like our daily maintenance, but then one day every week I have like a certain part of the house that I'll deep clean. So, and I can talk about zones in another video if that's something that interests you guys. But essentially I'll put clean kitchen. Okay, microwave needs to be scrubbed, counters need to be scrubbed, the oven needs to be scrubbed, dishes need to be put away, dishwasher needs to be loaded. Whatever I need to do, and then I will bullet under that, and that just helps me stay focused. It helps me not continuously be overwhelmed with everything, because then if I didn't get the whole kitchen cleaned, but I got half of it done, and I only put clean kitchen, I can't cross it off. But if I got like a good amount of the kitchen done, then I can cross each bullet point off. And honestly, at the end of the day, when you're looking at that, it makes you feel better, because you're not like, oh, I didn't get that done. I didn't get that done. Instead, you can look and go, well, I didn't get everything done, but I did get a majority of that done. And that will completely change like how you do your chores, how you feel at the end of the day. And I'm doing the same amount of things as I was doing in my other planners, but I feel more productive because I'm able to sit down and look at exactly what I accomplished today. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes if I've done something really important and it wasn't on my to-do list, I will write it down and cross it off, because it's a good reminder to yourself to be able to look at it and go, oh, okay, yeah, I did a lot of stuff today. I was really, really busy. So anyways, I really hope that this helps you guys. If you want a copy of it, I will be posting these for sale. Hopefully, my goal is to launch these January of 2020. That being said, I am trying to find a printer that I can order bulk from. Each day is one sheet. Now, the one that I have printed is just regular paper size. So essentially, I do want them on smaller sheet sizes. I haven't quite figured out exactly, because the sheet size I originally picked out apparently is not very popular in the US. So I do have to find like a different sizing. Now, how these planners are going to work is there are different elements to each planner. I have the financial aspect that you saw. I have the content creator page that you saw. I'll have a high school, a college, a teacher's version. And essentially what my goal is for you to go on my website when I get it created and it's up and say, okay, these are the elements I need to make the planner the best for me. And then you'll put in the box, okay, I need them in this order so that it's functioning for me. I then will have the pre-printed professional pages here, and I will have a binding system. So then I will pick all the elements that you guys want, and then I will go ahead and I will bind those for the customer. So I am really looking forward to this project. Again, this is something that's gonna take a couple more months for me to launch, but it does give you an idea of how I plan everything. I hope that you guys found this video extremely useful. If you have any organizational or planning tips, I would love to hear them below in the comments. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, make sure to hit that like button because it tells YouTube that I don't completely suck, and then other people can see my channel and then we can grow. Also, make sure you're following me on my social media at JossMaxedOut on Twitter and Instagram. See you next time, guys. Bye.
Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.